You are listening to the Profitable Content Creator Podcast. This is the place where content creators come to learn how to create profitable content that positions themselves as an authority and grows their online businesses. Get ready to take your content to a whole new level with your host, Kristen Poborsky.
So welcome to this episode of the Profitable Content Creator Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest for you. It is one of my students who is currently enrolled inside of my Smart Simple Content Marketing and Automation program. And Miriam Bolton is going to share with you how the program has shifted everything for her and helped her get clients. So you'll want to listen in where I introduce Miriam. You get to know a little bit about what she does. She's a coach, a relationship coach, a very special relationship coach. And I go through and ask her a bunch of questions about where she was in her business, how the program helped her, and what the results were. And you will be excited to hear exactly what she has to say about how this has impacted her and the growth that it's helped to give her with her business. So let's dive into today's episode. We're going to start it out where I introduce her and you'll learn all about Miriam. And then we're going to dive into exactly her story and how creating content has helped her to attract coaching clients into her practice.
I want to introduce you today to Miriam, who is a relationship coach who helps wives who are struggling in a challenging relationship with their husbands. What she found was that many times these women are in intense pain without hope of being happy in their marriage, and they feel like they're tiptoeing on eggshells around their husbands, and they don't know if they want to grow old with this man they originally fell in love with, and they fear that their marriage might not last. And Miriam's passion is to help these married women not just stay married, but to have a happy and fulfilled lives within their marriage relationship. So Miriam is an experience with helping couples in relationships with husbands who have Asperger's. She understands the relationship can be affected when one of the partners is neurotypical and the other one is not. Her own personal experience gives her a unique perspective on this type of a marriage relationship. And before becoming a coach, Miriam worked with young people as a high school educator. She enjoys a happy and fulfilling life with her husband of 33 years, and she and her husband have 3 grown sons. And in her spare time, Miriam likes to kayak with her husband, sew, play the piano, and speak to groups of ladies. So welcome my special guest today, Miriam Bolton. She is here to share her story about how she has been able to get clients with her content in my Smart Simple Content Creation and Automation course. And I'm really excited to have you here today to tell your story, because I know that there are people that are just like you, a coach, and they're looking for ways to get clients without having to be, salesy, right? So why don't we just start out, Miriam, like you can just expand on how I introduced you and tell people more about what you do and what's your passion.
Thank you, Kristen. And I appreciate that you've invited me on to share my journey. I do help wives. I'm very interested in helping the wives whose husbands are on the spectrum, because it's such a different place to be. It's not something that you can go to a typical counselor and get counseling for, because it's not addressed at the level of what is going on. So I do coaching, and what I do is a 3-month program with weekly 1 hour one-on-one, and then support in between those weeks, because I'm not going to let you go out to the sharks and try something by yourself. But that's what I do. And I just love serving these women and seeing their growth and their change within that marriage relationship and gaining their hope back and not feeling frustrated and hands tied, that there is something that they can do.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's kind of talk about the beginning of your journey of, how did you find me and where were you when you found me, and why did it appeal to you? How did you, what was going on back then? And I think we had this conversation just a few minutes ago before we got on here. It was, you came, was it in 2020, but it took you a while before you actually enrolled in my program. And that happens with a lot of people I know. So why don't you kind of just give your backstory as it relates to the program and where you were struggling in your coaching practice and what you thought you needed help with?
I think this was close to the pandemic time, the COVID shutdown time.
Yeah.
We're all at home watching all these challenges and doing the beta things. And I knew that I really needed to get out there in front of people, which with COVID, how are you going to go be in front of people? But I knew that I needed to do videos and really get in a place where people could see that I was there, that they could get help, but I wasn't doing anything. I was overwhelmed. I watched different things on how to do what I needed to do, but I didn't have anybody holding my hand. And that's what I really needed. And I think, Kristen, I found you on a Facebook ad and went to your first beta test and then probably signed up for something else that I didn't attend because I was doing something else at the time. But then I signed up because I knew I needed someone to take me step by step through the process to get myself out there for social, what's the word called? Social media marketing type thing.
Okay, great. And I think that was that you joined the Content 12X beta test, and that was back in July, and you joined in August. So why don't we kind of just talk about, where you were. And I know it took you a little while to get going, but I think that this is really important because I think you can inspire a lot of people with some of the struggles that you were, stopping you and kind of made you take a little bit longer than the usual first go round in the program. All right.
Okay. I was really afraid to do videos, and I don't know. I think it's because of my chemo brain and keeping all the thoughts in my head and not having a piece of paper that I was just reading off of. And then, of course, you got to have your hair nice, right? And the right lighting and the right place and the right everything. And you just don't. I did. When I finally got going consistently, I think it was my second Facebook video I did. And I had a client reach out to me and I did my interview with her and she signed up right away. And if I had a woulda, coulda, shoulda, I wish I had just done it so much earlier because Kristen, you make it so easy. You do. Okay. So the biggest thing I think when I started was that you helped with I think it was a bonus to get content, to find where the relevant content is and which content to do so that I wasn't just spinning my feet making content that nobody was interested in.
Right.
And that is like the best thing that you can do for your clients. I think that was great.
Yeah. That content plan where we sat down and we built out, it was at least 6 months. I think it was closer to a year of content ideas that you could just pull from and start creating this content. But not only that, an opt-in that related to your content. Because I think that's one of the key things that people forget about is, it's great to make content, but you've got to have a gateway for them to get off of the social media and want to come and work with you. So that's where the opt-in comes in and why I always include that. So that was you were smart. You signed up, got the bonus, because not everybody signs up the first day to get that bonus, but it sure saves a lot of time, right?
It does. Yeah. Takes one of the hurdles out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and as I remember, we were having this discussion, was it back in December about the whole teleprompter thing? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably.
And you wanted to do the teleprompter and that was like, you were kind of stuck thinking that you had to do the teleprompter, but I have a question about that. So when you actually sat down and did your videos, did you end up using a teleprompter, or did you just use
No,
the script?
no, I had a script, and my first one, I ended up editing, going through and editing, and that takes too long. So by the time I did my, I think, second or third one, I was able to just do it. I didn't do it live because the quality on where I am, the video is all glitchy, so it's just not nice. But I was able to do it all in one shot and just put it in my computer and upload it to Facebook.
Yep. And I think also one of the other things that you said you needed to overcome was perfectionism.
Yeah. Just do it. Just do it.
And yeah, so you got over that, because I was also stopping you. And then as far as, and I think this could help people too, did you have to spend a bunch of money on special setup?
No. I did get that ring light
Mm-hmm.
thing, and it was a challenge to find a place where I could actually video, and I ended up doing it in my living room by my front door where I had light coming in anyway.
Yeah.
And I got one piece of equipment for that, and that was one of those long arm things that you clamp, put your phone on, you can move it anywhere you want. Perfect.
Yeah, and those aren't very expensive. I have one of those. I think they're like less than $20, if even that.
I think you're right.
Like around $19. But it's kind of interesting, because I'm right now, just for people watching this, I'm just sitting in front of a window. Very rarely do I have the light ring, but very rarely do I use it. And I don't know if you use it very often in your videos or not. Yeah, no. And I've seen your videos. They come across, your quality is really, really good. It's really excellent. So really, it was the chemo brain thinking that you had to remember everything, but guess what? You're able to, and you were able to get over that fear of perfectionism and just go with, your subject. So it shouldn't really, you shouldn't have to read a teleprompter, and you should be okay, right, with what comes out of your mouth.
And
right?
very okay, in my age, technology, because I'm heading on towards 60. and the technology can be a challenge, but really it's just taking that video and putting it on Facebook. It's not a lot of technology.
No, and I think you do a little bit of cutting, right? Do a little bit of video cutting, or do you not really do it?
It's not that hard, but
yeah.
One more thing out of my way was just to video it and put it up the way it was.
Yeah. So awesome. And that was like the third video, and this client found you, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't edit that video.
No.
And you just use the script.
Right.
Anybody can do that, right?
Yeah. And I use your outline that you provide for us, which works amazing. That's
Good.
Another hurdle. Just to have an outline of how to go about starting, doing, and finishing is huge. And you've had all that for us.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. And then I guess, how about as far as the program itself and giving you like the space to get things done, right?
I love the program. I love how it starts out with what's most important, and then each thing is there. You can do it early, you can wait and do it. But it's there to do. And if you want to get it all done in 12 weeks, it's doable. It is doable. Right. And then I don't know exactly how often you do these, but the Wednesdays and the Thursdays. Okay. So those sessions where you open up and we get to work together, and it's an accountability thing where we can be there. And that's what I needed. I needed somebody to, and it's not really holding my hand, but I needed somebody to hold my hand to just keep going and not be overwhelmed. Just sit down and do it. And then the follow up with the different sessions that you have for us, it's more content valuable to helping us understand and learn how to do this.
Right. Those are the, for those of you who are watching, we do twice monthly focus work sessions. And that's what Miriam's talking about. And we have a system that we put you through to say, okay, this one, you should be doing this, then go away and do that in between. And then the next one, work on this, right? We have that whole system so that you can develop that content creation muscle, really is what it is, right? Sitting there and
It
writing your
is.
script and doing it and then publishing it, right? Because that's the hardest thing to get, really, is to just get into the habit. It's a habit, right? So, and then the other part that you're talking about are the workshops, the live workshops, where we teach the biggest what should I say, things that I want to teach that are in the program, but I feel it's so important to teach them live so that you really can grasp the concepts, right? They're not hard. It's just sometimes it's good to have these opportunities to go and learn live, right? So that's what Miriam's talking about. So other than getting a client, and which is third one, you got a 3-month client who's paying you good money to coach her. How else have you benefited from being in the program and creating video?
Well, I've connected with a couple of the ladies, and that's been fun. So I do a work session with one, and the other one we hash over some ideas. And it's always good to have somebody to do something with. It just is. There's more, I found there's more power in two people with ideas back and forth than just sitting here by myself, freezing over thinking about an idea. Because as soon as somebody says something, it's like your juices start running in that chemo brain. And it's just fun. It's fun to connect with people who are positive and in the same boat you're in, and working the same way that you're working, and understand the same things that you're trying to accomplish. There's no competition. It's just working together to accomplish the same purpose, because we all want to get a marketing and do it effectively.
Right. And one of the things I see is when the students in the program start making these videos, even though it's uncomfortable, once you kind of get over that hurdle, and when you have success, it does a lot for your mindset. Am I correct?
It does. Yeah. I was sitting on the couch one day thinking, wow. And if I'm not sharing my whole background here, but there's not always been support for what I've done. And when you're not supported, or you're belittled, or whatever it is, but I was sitting there thinking, wow, I can do this. Like, not because I'm somebody, but I can serve and I can help these women. I can make these videos, and it's something I can do and do well. It was just a aha moment.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome though? Because it's anything that's worth having. There's always some sort of like, little bit of fear going into it, right? Like, am I good enough? Do I have a face for video? Do I know my subject well enough? I mean, everybody goes through that, right? But doing it really kind of helps you get over that, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So if you could share with everybody, like, what is like the one thing that you think has made the biggest difference for you in the last, it's been since July. So it's been 6 months, 7 months now, do you think, in your journey?
I think it is having those weekly or bi-weekly, whatever the schedule is, and getting together and moving forward, and knowing that somebody is there to support me. And I wish I could do everything on my own and think that I could do it on my own and not need somebody there with me. But that's just the way I am. And I finally figured that out. And that's why I've done this program, because I have somebody right there with me that I know I can ask questions. I've got all the content I can go back through, and it's all laid out so well and simply, without being so overwhelming that anybody can do it, kind of thing. But
well, that's good to know. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So, Miriam, as we wrap this up, I really want to give people an opportunity to come find you. So why don't you share with everybody how they can come find you? I'll include any kind of links that Miriam shares with us down in the notes, so that you can go find her, check her out, connect with her. So I'll just hand it over to you, and you can let people know that.
Okay, my website is Revive Relationship with no S on the end, reviverelationship.com. And my Facebook is Miriam Bolton. So both of those places are good to go to. I do have an email contact in the Revive Relationship. If you want to reach out to me there, that's a good place to reach out.
Awesome.
Or instant message me on Facebook.
Okay, great. I will include all those links so you can go and check Miriam out, find out more about what she does. And I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I know that it'll impact other people that, you know, who probably have been in the same boat as you were in the past. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Profitable Content Creator Podcast, where content creators go to learn how to take their content creation to the next level. If you love the Profitable Content Creator Podcast, we'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give us a review on iTunes. Until next time.